Welcome back, everybody. We're diving deep today into the career of Susie Wiles.
Susie Wiles.
A name you might not know right off the bat, but trust me.
Yeah.
Someone who has had a huge impact on American politics over the last few decades.
Absolutely.
You guys sent us some great sources about her.
Yeah.
Articles, Wikipedia, tons of stuff.
Really good stuff.
So we're going to break it all down, talk about who she is, what she's done, and really just try to understand why it all matters. Get ready for some real insider baseball here.
Yeah.
You might be surprised how much influence political consultants like Susie Wiles actually have.
Yeah, absolutely true.
So one thing that immediately jumped out at me when I was looking at all this was her family background.
Interesting.
So her father was Pat Summerall.
Oh, wow.
The legendary NFL player and broadcaster.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't help but wonder,
Sure.
could that have played a role in her eventually choosing a career path in communications and politics?
Yeah, I think it's certainly possible, growing up surrounded by sports and media. I mean, she was exposed to the power of communication and public perception really from a young age.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of environment can definitely shape you. And, those are skills that are essential in politics.
Yeah.
No matter what side of the aisle you're on.
It's true. It's all about communication.
Right.
And speaking of sides of the aisle and, politics in general, she got involved in politics pretty early on,
She did.
working with some really big names like Jack Kemp and Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Two giants.
I mean, she was an assistant to Kemp, and then she went on to be a scheduler on Reagan's 1980 campaign.
Wow.
So she was in the thick of it even back then.
I mean, talk about formative experiences.
Yeah.
Those early roles were absolutely crucial for her development, I think. I mean, we got to think about it. Kemp and Reagan.
Yeah.
Both incredibly charismatic leaders who needed really strong and organized teams behind them. And, just the fact that she was successful in those positions, I think really demonstrates her ability to handle pressure.
Yeah.
Manage complex situations.
Yeah.
And really build relationships with powerful people.
And those are all skills
Right.
that translate across the political spectrum.
You got it.
It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat.
Exactly.
It's about being effective.
It's about getting things done.
Yeah.
Political savvy transcends party lines.
That's a good point.
And, her experience isn't limited to just national politics either.
Right.
I mean, she really cut her teeth in local Florida politics.
Yeah.
Serving as chief of staff to the Jacksonville mayor.
Yeah, I've read about that.
And what's remarkable is that she was the first woman to hold that position.
Oh, wow.
That's huge.
Yeah, that is significant.
Yeah, it really speaks to her ability to break barriers and excel in a traditionally male-dominated field.
Yeah, it seems like she's been a trailblazer right from the start.
It really does suggest a pattern of breaking new ground.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember this is where she gained that deep understanding of Florida politics.
Right.
Which is, a crucial battleground state in national elections.
Oh, yeah, Florida's always a big...
Always.
Yeah, and that deep understanding of Florida is really going to become a major factor in her later career.
Absolutely.
But before we get there, let's talk about her rise as a campaign strategist.
Yeah, right.
So one of our sources highlights her success managing Rick Scott's 2010 gubernatorial campaign.
Oh, yeah.
A huge win against an incumbent.
I mean, that really solidified her reputation
Yeah.
as a force to be reckoned with in the political arena. I mean, that victory proved she could manage a complex campaign, connect with voters on a personal level,
Yeah.
and deliver results.
And it wasn't just luck.
No.
It was a testament to her strategic thinking
Right.
and ability to adapt to an ever-changing political landscape.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to see how her career just kept developing. Yeah, it's impressive.
Before we move on to her work with Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis,
Okay.
we want to remind you guys to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment
Absolutely.
telling us what you think so far.
We love hearing from you.
Yeah, we do. Your engagement really helps us reach a wider audience and bring you even more deep dives into the world of politics and beyond.
And who knows what else we'll cover in the future.
Yeah.
We're open to suggestions.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments.
Absolutely. So let's get into the more recent chapter of Susie Wiles' career,
Okay.
her work with Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting.
Ah.
So we know she had a pivotal role in both of Trump's presidential campaigns.
Yeah, especially in Florida.
Especially Florida.
You can't win without Florida. If you want to be president, you got to win Florida.
Exactly. And Her deep understanding of Florida politics really made her like a key asset to the Trump campaign.
For sure. I mean, think about it.
All those years she spent working in Florida.
Right.
I mean, she knew the voters.
Yeah.
She understood the issues, and she knew how to craft a message that resonated.
It's like she had her finger on the pulse of Florida.
She did.
But then there's that whole thing with Ron DeSantis.
Yeah. That's a fascinating twist.
Yeah, our sources mentioned that, she initially helped him win the Florida governorship back in 2018.
Right.
But then later she called working for him the biggest mistake of her career.
Oh, wow.
What's the deal there?
Well, that's a question that has fueled a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
I mean, the specific details are still kind of murky, but reports suggest there was some real tension between Wiles and DeSantis.
Okay.
And it ultimately led to her removal from Trump's 2020 re-election campaign.
Wow.
At DeSantis's request.
So DeSantis was basically like,
yeah, pretty much.
Get her out of here.
It sounds like there were some serious power struggles going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, like a real political shakeup.
Big time.
So what do you think about this whole falling out?
Well, I think it gives us a glimpse into the dynamics within the Republican Party. By that time, DeSantis was already seen as a rising star.
Yeah.
A potential presidential contender.
Right.
And some analysts believe he saw Wiles as a potential rival or threat. Someone who could maybe hinder his own ambitions.
So it's almost like a political chess match.
Yeah.
With each player trying to make strategic moves.
Right.
To gain an advantage.
Exactly. And this whole incident really underscores the importance of personal relationships and alliances in politics.
Yeah, it's not always about ideology.
It's not.
It's about who you trust,
right?
Who you align with, and who you perceive as a potential obstacle.
It's a game of strategy.
It really is.
Absolutely.
But, regardless of the fallout with DeSantis,
yeah,
Wiles' career continued to climb.
It did.
She became the CEO of Trump's Save America PAC, essentially serving as his chief of staff, even before he officially appointed her to that role in the White House.
So she was already in a position of power.
Yeah, and that's a really important point to emphasize.
Yeah.
PAC's political action committees, they play a huge role in modern American politics.
They do. They raise and spend tons of money to support candidates and influence elections.
And as CEO of Save America,
right.
Wiles had a lot of power and influence.
A lot.
And our sources even suggest that she might be the unnamed PAC representative that Trump allegedly showed classified documents to.
That's a serious allegation.
Yeah, it ties her directly to the ongoing legal investigations surrounding Trump.
Right.
It's important to note, though, that these are allegations.
Yeah.
And Wiles hasn't been charged with anything.
No.
But if true, it definitely underscores the potential legal risks associated with being so close to Trump and his inner circle.
Absolutely.
It's a good reminder that even those operating behind the scenes in politics can find themselves caught up in some major legal and ethical controversies.
It comes with the territory.
It does. But let's shift our focus back to Wiles' appointment as Trump's White House chief of staff.
Okay.
I mean, she's the first woman ever to hold this position.
A historic milestone.
It is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And the White House chief of staff, I mean, it's one of the most demanding and powerful positions in the world.
No doubt.
It requires incredible organizational skills, political savvy,
right,
and the ability to manage a huge and complex bureaucracy.
It's not a job for the faint of heart.
No, it's not. And her appointment really raised a lot of questions at the time.
Like what?
What would her leadership style be like? How would she handle all that pressure and scrutiny that comes with the job?
Right.
I mean, based on her track record, I think we can expect a really decisive and results-oriented approach.
Yeah. She's known for her attention to detail, her ability to manage complex situations, and her loyalty to Trump.
And that loyalty was definitely a key factor in her appointment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Trump values trust and personal connections. And Wiles had definitely earned his confidence.
Right. But some people also wondered how she would handle the unique challenges of Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I mean, she was an outsider.
Yeah.
She built her career in Florida.
Yeah, far from the corridors of power in the nation's capital.
So some wondered if her outsider status would be a problem.
Right. Would it pose any difficulties?
Well, it's hard to say for sure, but Her experience in Florida politics, which is often seen as like a microcosm of national politics, might have prepared her pretty well for the challenges of Washington.
Right. I mean, she was used to dealing with tough opponents, navigating complex political landscapes, and building coalitions.
Exactly.
So she already had the skills.
Yeah.
And she'd already proven herself to be a very effective political operator.
For sure.
Okay, so before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
All right,
we want to hear what you guys think so far. Yeah. Don't forget to like this episode.
Yes.
Subscribe to our channel.
Hit that subscribe button.
And leave a comment below with your thoughts and questions.
We love hearing from you guys.
Yeah, we do. Your feedback really helps us create content that you guys find engaging and informative.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about Susie Wiles' journey,
Yeah.
from local Florida politics all the way to the White House.
It is pretty remarkable.
I mean, talk about ambition,
Yeah.
political savvy, and just the ability to adapt and thrive in a constantly changing environment.
Yeah. It really makes you think about, the nature of power and influence in American politics.
Yeah.
Like, what bigger insights can we take away from her career, especially her close relationship with Trump?
Well, one key takeaway for me is the influence of political consultants. They really have a huge impact on modern politics.
Yeah, they're kind of the puppet masters.
In a way, yeah. They operate behind the scenes, shaping campaigns, crafting messages, and ultimately influencing policy decisions.
It's like they're the architects of the political landscape.
Exactly. And Wiles is a master architect in that sense.
She's really good at what she does.
She is, people call her a political savant, a whisperer.
Because she can get things done.
Yeah, she gets results without needing the spotlight.
Her story really highlights those unseen forces at work.
Yeah, it's a reminder that what we see on the surface, the rallies, the debates, the headlines, it's just a small part of the story. There's a whole world of strategizing, deal-making, and power brokering happening behind closed doors.
Makes you wonder how much of what we think is political reality is actually carefully constructed.
It's a good question, and it highlights the importance of critical thinking and media literacy.
Yeah.
Especially in today's political climate.
We have to be aware of the forces that are shaping the information we consume.
Right. And the narratives we're being presented with.
It's about looking beyond the surface.
Exactly.
Trying to understand the motivations, the strategy,
the power dynamics.
Yeah.
All of it.
And in Wiles' case, her relationship with Trump is really telling.
It is. It shows how important personal connections and loyalty are in politics.
It seems like their relationship went beyond just politics.
Right, yeah.
It was built on trust, shared ambition.
And a mutual understanding of how to use power.
Yeah. And that kind of bond can be incredibly powerful, especially when it comes to shaping policy.
Oh, absolutely.
And making big decisions.
It can make or break a presidency.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the life and career of Susie Wiles, what's the biggest lesson we can take away?
For me, it's the importance of recognizing the different ways power shows up. It's not always about holding office or having a fancy title.
Right.
Sometimes the most influential people are the ones working behind the scenes, shaping narratives and wielding influence through connections and strategy.
It's a good reminder that politics is a complex game with a lot of players. Some we see and some we don't. And understanding those players is crucial for anyone who wants to be informed.
Absolutely.
So if this deep dive has sparked your interest in politics, we encourage you to keep exploring.
Read articles, listen to podcasts, talk to people who have different views.
Yeah, the more informed we are,
the better equipped we'll be to participate in our democracy.
That's a great point.
Thanks.
So tell us what you guys think about Susie Wiles.
Yeah.
What surprised you the most? What questions do you still have?
Let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to our channel for more insightful deep dives into all sorts of interesting topics.
We have a lot more planned.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned.
And speaking of reaching a wider audience, we want to take a moment to mention our Standing in the Gaps podcast GoFundMe campaign.
Yeah. If you enjoy these deep dives and you want to help us make them even better, consider making a donation.
We're passionate about bringing you high-quality content, and your support allows us to invest in better equipment.
Like webcams, studio microphones, editing, computers, all that good stuff.
Yeah, which ultimately enhances the listening experience for everyone.
Exactly.
Even a small donation can make a big difference.
It really can.
So thank you for your support.
We appreciate it.
And thank you all for joining us on this journey into the world of Susie Wiles.
A woman who has truly left her mark on American politics.
Yeah, from the shadows to the spotlight. She's a fascinating figure.
Absolutely.
And we hope you enjoyed learning more about her.
We'll see you next time.